Here are some bizarre ways to die in medieval times. 1. The Holy Feast. It is said that Archbishop Hatto was imprisoned in a dungeon for his cruelty towards the poor and was eaten alive by packs of rats. 2. A hot stuff. Edward II of England was imprisoned by his wife and her lover. He was later killed by having a red-hot iron thrust into his rear. 3. A flying sword. A French noble, Enguerrand III, was riding a horse but soon fell off, and his unsheathed sword pierced his chest, killing him instantly. 4. Good Comnenus hunting. During a wild boar hunt, Byzantine Emperor Comnenus reached down to pick up his poisoned arrow, but accidentally pricked himself with it. Poison soon took the emperor's life. 5. The bite. After a fierce battle, a Viking named Sigurd kept his enemy's head as a trophy. Then, while riding a horse with the trophy tied to his side, the teeth on the head grazed and cut Sigurd's skin. He soon died from infection caused by the wound. 6. Dead emperors. In the 5th century, Byzantine Emperor Zeno was dethroned by his wife's uncle, Basiliscus, but he soon retaliated and reclaimed his throne. Then, the emperor made a promise to Basiliscus that he would not bleed to death. Instead, Basiliscus was exiled and imprisoned without food. He soon starved to death. As for Zeno, it didn't go well for him either. He was literally hated by everyone, and when he died and was buried, he was actually still alive, but no one cared to save him. 7. A beard pouch. Hans Steininger, a 16th century mayor in Austria, had a 5-foot-long beard. One day he tripped over it and broke his neck. He just forgot to wear his beard pouch that day. 8. A bath before death. It is said that while taking a bath, Byzantine Emperor Constans II was either stabbed or beaten to death with a bucket by an assassin. Either way, he died. 9. The Pope and the Choke. While Adrian IV, the 169th Pope, was drinking spring water, a fly suddenly flew straight into his throat and got stuck. His Holiness soon choked and died, but later research found that he actually died from tonsil inflammation. 10. The Brothers. While riding a horse, Louis III got distracted by a woman and smashed his head into a gate. To make it even worse, it is said that his horse accidentally stepped on his head, ending the life of the West Frankish king. Also, his brother died after his servant stabbed him with a spear by mistake while hunting. 11. The Bear. During Carnival, Jörg Janach, a political leader in Switzerland, was enjoying his banquet, but he was suddenly approached by a bear. Janach was shocked to see the animal, but luckily it was just a man in a bear costume, who happened to be hiding an axe. Janach was killed right on the spot. 12. Béla's throne. Béla I, king of Hungary, was sitting on his throne, but after he felt a short shudder beneath the seat, it suddenly collapsed to the ground, and fatal injuries from the fall soon took the king's life. King Martin of Aragon wasn't feeling well from severe indigestion, so he asked a court jester to tell him a joke to brighten the mood. The joke perfectly suited his taste, and the king laughed really hard. Then he died. The unfortunate jester was left to face the guards for an explanation of the king's death. 3. A sour emperor. During the Third Crusade, the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick I drowned in a river while attempting to cross it. And as if it weren't bad enough, his men failed to preserve his body because instead of using salt to dry his corpse, they used vinegar, which turned him into a sour chunk of meat. 4. Philip's ride. In the 12th century, the French King Philip was riding a horse in a town, but suddenly a pig got in his way. His horse managed to stop, but the momentum shot him forward. The crushing landing caused instant death for Philip. 5. Erfurt latrine disaster. In Erfurt, Holy Roman Emperor Henry VI was holding an assembly with his nobles, but the massive weight of the people caused the floor to collapse. Only the king and few others were unharmed. Dozens of men plunged into the abyss and landed in a pool of human waste. It is said that around 50 people drowned in excrement. 6. A Welsh prince. Griffith ap Llywelyn ap Iorwerth, a Welsh prince, was imprisoned in a tower by his brother Dafydd. The prince attempted to escape the tower by using a rope, but unfortunately he was a bit too heavy. 7. The noble way. George Plantagenet, Duke of Clarence, was convicted of treason and sentenced to death, but not by having an axe driven into his neck. Since he was a member of the royal family, he was executed by being drowned in a vat of wine. 8. A roasted king. Charles II of the Kingdom of Navarre was being treated for his inflammation, and the doctor's treatment of choice was wrapping his body in bandages which had been soaked in brandy that was used as a disinfectant. And while the king was resting after the treatment, his servant noticed a loose string sticking out. So he tried to burn it with a candle, but ended up roasting the king alive. 9. Basil's bad luck. While Byzantine Emperor Basil I was hunting, his belt got tangled in antlers of a fleeing deer. It is said that the deer dragged the emperor at least 15 miles, severely injuring him. Luckily, he was eventually saved by a man roaming the forest. But soon after the injured emperor gathered himself, he noticed the rescuer was in fact an assassin. So he quickly took him down, only to die from his injuries shortly after.